What's cooking, everybody? It's your boy Breeze.
Sailor here.
And you're now tuned into the hottest upcoming platform for all the entrepreneurs, business people, and entertainers around the city. Right? So today we got special guest in the building, a luxury fashion designer herself. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Her name is Kleechi, and she gonna tell y'all what's going on.
I always say I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Well, I gotta let them know the name
My
first.
name is Kadaylee Washington, also known as Frame God, and
She
my
put the government
business
out
is
there.
Kleechi. Kleechi LLC, but it's trademarked with the R, you heard?
So we're happy to have you here after months of trying to get you in here, vice versa. Like I feel like we've been having like a lot of like issues, like not issues in a bad way, but it's just like it's always something happens. It's like one person can't make it, the other person can't make it, we got rescheduled. So it's finally a good time to finally have you in the studio. And I'm happy to have you here.
But it's destiny, I feel like, right? Because so much good things are happening. So I just want to share it with both of you, like, yeah.
Yeah, you've been on the buzz. You've been, doing a lot of great things. I see you linking up with a lot of entertainers, content creators, artists, and whatnot. You got the press release coming up, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. So, yeah, like you said, the goal right now, it's like my press run. So I got 27 days until the actual event. The press day is June 16th, right? I had to do it's like an annual event right before Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a Monday, so just to make it fun. And I felt like, so Carver Bank had sponsored me, and then Bitcoin Blockchain Center wanted to get involved, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And I was just like, this is so dope. So I want to make it an event. So the press day is just that, and the after party is an event. But like I want the whole tri-state area talking about Kleechi. Like that's the goal. Yeah.
So I did say it's a luxury fashion line and whatnot, but tell us about, your designs and whatnot. Like, what do you sell? Like, how'd you come up with your logo? Like, just the whole backstory to it all.
So I've been like blind, -12 in my left eye and -13 in my right eye, like my whole life since the age of 9. So glasses for me is like my life, right? So I kind of had to make it, I want to say, a passion in a sense, because you can imagine as a young girl, it was something I was bullied about, and I had to kind of own it and become confident in it. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I want to say like my second year of college, but I always knew that I wanted to be a boss. Right? Like I got to be something. I was even willing to do like have a restaurant. I was like, Mom, you could cook, I'll own it. But one day, like I don't know, so it just would have been something. It would have been something. But during this time when I was on the trains back and forth to college, I was into like sketching. And just like regular sketches. But I remember I had brought 2 glasses prior. I want to say Cazelle and a Versace pair. And I brought glasses probably every month, 1 new pair every month, because it accentuated my style. And I was on the train and I saw like these eyes, and then I started sketching eyes, right? And I started drawing glasses.
Like just a pair of eyes?
Yeah, like no, and then with glasses around it. And then it kind of kept going from there. And then it gravitated into like, after like 2 months, 3 months, I started telling certain family members about it. And I was just obsessed over it. So my business was born on paper in 2017. So my name is Kadaylee. My mom's name is Charisse. So it's me and my mother's name combined. The first name was 1976 Mod. And then like I imagined the store next to Tiffany's. And I was like, it sounds too much like an address, I swear to God. So I was like, switch it up. And when I said that name, I fucking loved it. I don't know, can we curse?
Yeah, you
loved
can say what
it.
you want, just don't do it.
And I made it an LLC. I didn't tell nobody about it. I brought the domain, which is the site. And 2019 I launched, which was Fashion Week, September. And then that was right before COVID. So it just took a hit, but people were always kind of wanting to know what was up with the design, right? But at this stage, I wasn't able to do my custom sketches because every manufacturer that I went to was kind of giving me hell. And I started with the Italian manufacturers, right? Because you would think they're the most innovative, and they told me that my sketches were too out of the box. I went to China.
What do you mean by that?
They said that they couldn't design my... So for example, this sketch, which has the lightning bolt, because I don't have my thing on me, right? You see this? but it's much different. This one has a creation that, like I said, was off mythology.
Well, it's lightning?
It's a
I thought it
lightning
was like
bolt.
a sun.
No, the arm is a lightning bolt. My logo is a sun.
Oh, yeah.
But
So many of these
they
ones.
pretty much told me they couldn't do it. They couldn't make it happen because it was too complex. And I thought that was kind of like absurd, you know? I went to Greek. My goal was to have like an African manufacturer, but it didn't work like that. And then I played with the Chinese manufacturers, and sometimes they were making me happy, sometimes they weren't because it wasn't what I wanted. And then still with custom, I don't think people know what goes into custom. People say things because it sounds good. Like, you know, like, make me a pair of glasses. Like, it doesn't work like that. It's not the same as like if you were sewing something or doing something or a service, or even if you had a shirt and you kind of put your art on it. When you're like a car in a sense, like if you're having a manufacturer making something, it's like a one of one. So pretty much, I think I'm going fast. My manufacturer is based in Shanghai. Shanghai because Shanghai has been on the cover of Vogue over 7 times, and they're the fashion capital, despite what people think about China, right? You know, Tokyo too, but they got it. And finally, totally like new manufacturer. I just fell in love with them. They got it. I had to get my prototype. My prototype took 60 days to make, which is the one on my face. It cost me $1,200 to get it here, to get it made. So that means they have to
Well,
mold
$1,200
it.
for how many?
No, for one.
Just for
For
one?
the prototype.
All right.
And then after you approve the prototype, you agree on a number. Usually it's 300 to 500 to 1,000, and I have to explain to them I'm a small business and da da da. And we agreed on 100 pair. That's why it's only 100 pair made, because it's very tedious, but the quality and everything is just so like I'm in love. The goal eventually would be to have a manufacturer in the States, right? That would cut down time. That would cut down all these things. But right now, there's not one that's willing to work with small businesses, right? They're already kind of owned, like Warby Parker. They already have their own, but they have a much bigger budget. So everything I'm doing is like, I'm grinding, like I'm making it happen. And it's meant to be artwork. It's meant to be statement pieces. I design personality-based glasses. And yeah, it's what I like because it's what I'm creating. And that can always be something, you know, when you come in contact with certain people in the industry, that what they feel entitled, so they want certain things. But for, not to say the average person, a regular person can't have a custom pair unless they're willing to pay that. But if I paid $1,200 to make it happen, are you going to pay $2,000? Like, you know, off a new brand? Probably not. So I'm just building the momentum because that's what I feel like this industry, it lacks. It's a competitive industry, but I still feel like it's almost monopolized because besides Warby Parker, people say Warby Parker so much, Luxottica like designs for all the Italian brands you could think of. Warby Parker is not, I don't really consider them a competitor in a sense because our target is different, our audience is different, but they have a good message, right? And then my message is the same. It's giving confidence to people. Like, you know, I wear the product, so I feel like I'm established to say what it's like, what it feels like wearing glasses, to
That's a bar right
kind
there.
of lack confidence when I was younger, to feel like insecure with that, but now it's so much in me. I can't not have it. Like, it's just, my idea is to make glasses be sexy, make it be cool, right? Because there's people that won't go out because they wear glasses. There's people that won't, whatever. And then,
That used to be me. I'm
you know,
not
the
gonna lie.
person that wears glasses, but they can just buy a pair from this, like, Rite Aid or something, that's not my target. Like, I aim for fashion creatives, for people who want to express themselves through eyewear. So it's like, it's my baby. It's like special to me. So, you know, I'm really excited because I waited so long, 60 days for the prototype and then 60 days for this. So now that's a good thing, but then it becomes harder because it's like, when the orders come in and I have these meetings at these bigger stores, how fast can we get 5,000 pairs to, you know, right? Without having to tell the customers you have to wait another 2 months. That's a lot.
Is that more on the manufacturer or is that more on the shipping issue?
It's not a shipping issue because the shipping's fast.
I was
Shipping
gonna
is 2
say
days.
shipping.
It's
We could talk about the offset.
it's the material. They have to order the material, but that's something I have to talk to them with too, because then essentially, no matter how much I love them, I'll have to find a better position for me to spend less. But yeah, the material, making it, carving it, it's those things. But when it ships, it's air. So it's like, that's nothing.
Okay, so you answered at least 4 of my questions in one go. That was quite the introduction, and that was amazing. So you said 2 things that stood out to me. First thing you said was about how, you wanted to do something that was relatable to you, in a sense. You wore glasses, so you wanted to make glasses, right? And I feel like when you do things like that, it kind of gives you more fun in what you're doing, where it's like, it really makes it, easy for you to like really put your passion into your craft. Because some people just do it because they want money. Some people actually have a passion behind it, and that passion stems from how well whatever it is that they're doing relates to their personal life. So, I definitely like how you highlighted that. And then the second thing that you said in regards to, I'm trying to remember. Come back to me. Come back to me. I lost it for a quick second. But yeah.
So I wanted to ask you this question. What was the process like to putting the press release event together?
The process is processing. No. I'm very persistent. I'm a very persistent person. And I'm consistent with what I do. And when I have a vision, like I kind of just tunnel it and I don't let any outside noise distract me, meaning opinions from people. But making this happen, this was like the vision I had. Like I wanted it, everything perfect. I'm a perfectionist, but we all know like perfection isn't possible sometimes. But it started with BK Reader, actually, I want to say, because how I met the person it was like crazy, but them putting my story out was actually very lucrative, and I want to thank them, BK Reader. Like I have like a relationship with them. I love them. They're a publication, but a lot of people read publications. Like you would be surprised. And with that being said, I was contacted by a lot of people in a lot of industries. A few people, Vanguard, some speakers, Board of Ed, founding principals, Chambers of Commerce, VPs, and I was asked to do speaking engagements, which I thought was like super dope. One of the speaking engagements, I met this super dope girl, Hala Marak. She is a artist and she also has like her own storefront and everything. Anyway, I told her like, my vision, my press, because originally the press release was going to be at Carpet Bank, and I brought Carpet Bank out to some high schools, to South Shore, and to fashion high school industries. But it started to get so big, and then I was introduced to my sponsor, my liquor sponsor, which is going to be there. It's sponsored by Ocean Hill Apple Brandy, not because they're not paying us, right? So, but it's gonna be so dope because I'm gonna make different drink menus. But anyway, this connected me to other things, right? So it's kind of like it all connects. So I got my liquor sponsor. I told him the vision, how it's gonna happen. Fell in love. Okay. Then he introduced me to the owner of. So Bitcoin blockchain is cryptocurrency, but they have like 4 locations. I think they have one in Dubai. They have one in Broadway, which is the Upper West Side. They have a couple other, and their goal is like pretty much NFCs and keeping something in terms of art, but like a human art form. Like they don't want everything to be so, I guess, online based, right? So I told them the vision and they fucking loved it. So it just kept connecting and then it kept getting bigger. And as I told people how it's gonna happen, what's gonna happen, the people that did, mess with me, they did certain things. So they did the drop, and then more people wanted to get involved. And I'm like, you know what? Because I'm connected to this person and their A&R, and I know this person, I'll do some, performances. And in a sense, they're my promoters, and they, So everything it's one hand wash the other because I have a lot to offer, and I feel like when you look at it like that and other people connect with you like that and they see the vision, then big things could happen, right? Because somebody can say no, but that's the funny part. And I'm learning to not take things personal in business because you can't, right? But it's very difficult because, like you said, when it's very close to you or something that you're passionate about, you do take it personal. It's hard to do. You do have to separate it, but sometimes it can be taken personal, right? But the people who saw the vision connected to it right away and wanted to do it. And that's how I did that. And then I reached out to Red Bull. I gave my proposal. I sent it. I aimed high and high. I went to like 5-star Greek restaurant owner, Kalari. I told him the vision. He said he's going to come through. We'll see. But it's just, I want it to be amazing because it can be. And all it took was me telling somebody the vision. Now, somebody who isn't as optimistic as me would say, if you can't get it or whatever, buy it, right? Yes, I agree. I feel like money talks, right? But you'll be surprised at how much people would do, especially people that have more than you, you know?
Right.
And that have like a higher, I guess just more power than you in a sense, would do it just because they like your story or they like something, and it's not just about money. So, because it could just be about money and they can, you know, take the story and then you really won't get nowhere. So what I say is if you have like a passion or a dream or something, then do it. It's not asking for a handout. In a sense, obviously it's a time and a place, right? Because I'm doing the event, obviously, you know, Bitcoin, they're getting their piece from it. They're out of it. The people who are performing, they're getting something out of it. They're getting the crowd, they're getting, so it's everybody's getting something. You understand? So how I made it happen, I did that. I told them the story. And they either said yeah or no. And the people that said no is trying to spin the block. But I mean, you know, you don't get mad about that.
Yeah, so I remember my point as I'm looking at my notes right here. So what the second point I wanted to go to was when you mentioned how you only bought 100 frames originally. And you were saying it was more so just because it was expensive. But I think having limited supply actually does help your business in a way, because everybody wants to, you know, make sure they have it before it runs out. You know, they want to be one of those people that can say, hey, you know, I have a pair of Kleechi shades and you don't, type of vibe. So how do you feel about that?
I'm really happy about it because I kind of wanted to, like when this one sold out, I kind of wanted to do different colorways and kind of keep it like that until I make my next prototype, because I would have to go through that whole phase again. So I have other sketches. I named them. So like I have this one dope pair and it's called the Romantic, and it's just like flowers and the, like the sun, and it's gold, and it's just like very, yeah. And then I have one called the Professional, and like I imagine people who would wear this, like, right? Like the professional works in Wall Street and he owns a club in the city. I don't know, like it's just different. But that would take me having to pay for the prototype again and the molded feet. Like, so for now, I would take this design, kind of like that big boot that went viral. Because
the red
this
boots, the
is like,
Mega Mans?
yeah, this is my trademark. Like when you see the spike, you'll know it's me, but my logo is the sun. But it has that effect. So I was thinking, I don't want to say my colorways that I might drop next, but it's gonna be some dope shit. It'll be like a different drop every whatever, and then maybe for Fashion Week, I would do the next collection, right? Like the next theme. But yeah, I think having 100 pairs is dope because, like you said, it's a one-of-one design, 2 colors available, and only very few people have it. So it's amazing. I'm so happy.
So one thing I wanted to touch on too is I see you work with a lot of you worked with some artists, some content creators, and just, you know, people that have, you know, that clout, right? So one of our previous guests, Malik Dupree, he's also into the luxury eyewear design. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he was saying it's more of a product placement type of world where, like, you know, everything good? Oh, okay, you just threw me off, my bad.
I'll be right back.
All right, yeah, all right, so we just edit.
Bring me a drink. Oh, these are me.
No, we'll just edit. I'll just keep going.
All right, bring me a drink.
We'll just zoom in on one angle. But anyways, so like I was saying, so he was saying it's more of a product placement world, right? And for some people, I feel like it's kind of just the relationship you have. Because if I knew Jay-Z, I'm sure, like, you know, before Jay-Z was big, I'm sure people would have see mad pictures of me, throwback pictures of me with Jay-Z chilling. But obviously, it's a huge age gap between me and Jay-Z. But you get what I'm trying to say with that, right? But then it's like when, that person becomes lit, in this case, like I said, Jay-Z in my example, Jay-Z gets lit. Now it's like, it's so easy to say, yo, Jay, can you like throw these shades on at the red carpet and whatnot and stuff like that. So like when it comes to the relationships that you made with these people, like how do you feel like it really like affects like what's going on with your movement?
Connections definitely helping the movement. A lot of people, I think they see like what I'm on, like what I'm doing and how long I've been doing it and how persistent I've been. And I feel like they like it, they fuck with it. It's different. It's different. It really is. I don't want to focus on me. I don't want to focus on like nobody else, but it's different in a sense of a lot of people, especially women, aren't on that. And it's almost like non-existent. Like the boss crowd of women, especially young, like I'd love to be around them, but they're not really around. And then the ones that are, they're not really willing to connect you to nobody, which is fine, not all. But I'd have to say, all the networks that I've made in the last like 5 months have over $2 million net worth each, and the women are older than 30, and they really take a liking to me, and they whatever. The men too, but sometimes the men are younger, and it sucks, but like it's like weird, like why, But I mean, I don't know, obvious reasons. People are just the crab in a barrel. Yeah. But for me, networking, it makes sense because for my drops, everybody that I asked to do a drop, they fuck with me. So if I say, can you do this? They did it. So if I have people that work at 105, they say, okay, I'm gonna do it when I'm in this. They have another one, the Justina Love Girl, we like connected, like I love her. And I asked her to do it, she didn't have to. She was like, yeah, and she did it. That was another plug. Then I have, Fresher, and then I have whatever. And then I met with like Ace, and these people are people that's telling me, yo, I'm gonna introduce you to such and such, pull up, come. And it just keeps going. And if you're making them look good and they can help you, I think people will do good things because they want to do good things. But it still is, I want to say it like right. I'm the type of person, if you looked out for me, I'm going to always remember that. And it's kind of like a loyalty thing, right? Like I remember you did that, like you feel me? So like the lady who I'm speaking for, who I spoke for with the schools, it was only like 30 kids there and they loved it. And now she said that there's like 100 kids that want to do it next year. But imagine if it's 200 kids and let's say, hopefully, let's say I pop and my business takes off and I'm doing so much and I'm making millions, but like I'm so busy and she was to ask me to do this, I don't know what or how I would do it, but I would make it happen for me to pull up. But that's just me. You don't know what can happen, but that's just me. I'm a word of bond person, and I feel like connections is like everything. So people kind of want to see people win. I don't think people don't want to see people win. It's just, it's in that field, right? Because anybody I've asked to do something, it's kind of like, they don't look at it like you owe me, but I feel like they see something, like I feel like this is gonna be something and they wanna help, and you can feel like that. Or sometimes you could just, I always say, it's okay to mess with something before the world say it's okay to mess with something. And people go, oh yeah, but a lot of people don't look at it like that. And the sad truth, most success happens because of the 85%, and the 85% do follow what's, lit. It sucks, but it's the truth. So I think being you, and people are gonna fuck with it, but definitely having a connection, because you can do that. You can pull up and say, yo, who's this? I need this. And they see it's a good thing. And then now they see other people of importance and now they want it. So, how would it be if I pop and you say, yo, I got Kleechi number, or I got speed dial, right? I mean, it's good to be connected.
You got 2 business phones like you trapping or something. Yeah, but now I'll say though, you definitely are a hard worker just from the conversations we had and just like the work that you've been doing on Instagram and whatnot. Like I definitely see what you've been up to. So I feel like even so, you could even just force it off the muscle, And I see that a lot with you.
What do you mean?
Like off the muscle, like you doing this all on your own. You feel me? Like you can bulldoze your way into industry and make a lot of things happen just with you, like, you know, just with what you got going on with yourself. Like, you don't need anybody to, like, you know, kind of bring you in. Does that make sense?
It do.
Yeah, like that's kind of how I see you moving with it. So, you know, I'm pretty proud to see the progress that you're making so far.
That makes me happy. Thank you.
Yeah. So outside of the press release, what future plans do you have? Oh, actually, before I even get to that, quick question. So I was gonna ask, you ever done like pop-up shops?
I have done pop-up shops. I'll be real. I'm not really. I know pop-up shop. Everybody has their own opinion. We were talking about mine. I'm not a huge pop-up person only because I'm very particular. I'm like a perfectionist. I like it my way. So I would do pop-up shops, but it would have to make sense for me. Like, it would have to be people that connect, not necessarily somebody that sells glasses, but we're kind of all in the same field, right? Like, I wouldn't. My after party, I'm actually gonna have like edibles and stuff there, but that's different. That's business. But like, I wouldn't want to do a pop-up shop with edibles and weed because it just wouldn't. That makes sense. Not saying that's all it would be, but my goal, like in the next 6 months, I'm trying to be in some stores.
Why not start a store?
Saks, Bergdorf, Neiman's.
Now we need a Kleechi store.
That's the goal. Yeah, of course. But I want them because they could get a bigger number, like a large number.
That is true.
Like the same way you have these, you know, hair care products and they're in Target, I would want to have my stuff there, but it would have to be those ranges because even like Macy's and Bloom's and Saks, those are all 3 different players, right? You could kind of say Bloom's is kind of like, you know, settle for Bloom's, but I see my glasses there. Like, I see my glasses as collectible, like a piece. It deserves to be, and it's in its own showroom. And I have a couple meetings actually with some celebrity stylists to do product placement, or it's gonna be in their showroom. And like, I'm so happy. Like, I just
I could tell.
I remember this person told me, like, when they talked to me or something, they said, it kind of stuck in my head, like, when I speak, like, I look up, and to him, that showed him that I was like thinking creatively. And like something when you look down that you're thinking more logically. I've never heard that before, but yeah, I am. Like, when I'm looking up, I'm actually like dreaming. Like, I can't, like, I'm dreaming of how I want it, like how big. I've imagined like the sun, like my logo, rotating in gold on top of like the store. Like,
yeah, I like that.
It's gonna be like fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like a movie, like.
Yeah. The reason I asked is because I started seeing a lot of eyewear designers doing pop-up shops. That's why I was just like, did you start off with one as well, or did you just go straight into?
Did a pop-up shop before, and then like when I first like dropped, I did a pop-up, if you wouldn't call it that, but it was like my launch. And I did another one. I didn't really like that one. That's why I never really stuck with it. So I would do like conventions, dope stuff like that, but honestly, I'm not really a pop-up person, but I think it's definitely good. I'm not knocking pop-ups. A pop-up is like the hustle, like it's the grind. But I'm already popping up on people, if that makes sense.
She's what's cooking.
Like, no, I'm popping up. So like, I'm
cooking.
bringing it to people now, and I've been trying to perfect my vision, and now this is my first ever 3D monogram frame. And it's my baby, and it's what I've imagined, and everything about it is perfect. And I feel like I could talk my shit because I put in fucking work. And I know it sells. Like, I have customers, like persistent customers, so it's not that, but I feel like I've always been more focused on perfecting the product because I want my customer, my client to be forever happy, and for the most part, they always have. Like, I've never had no complaints. They love it, and that's what I want, but I just wanted to execute. There's people that's not their priority. The first priority is money, and yes, if it don't make money, it don't make sense, but it can make you money and still be a flop. Like, it can make money and be trash. Like, it could do a lot. So for me, I just want it perfect, and now I feel like it's there, and that's why I'm going so hard, because I need it everywhere.
Yeah, so to wrap up, going back to what I was previously going to say, so what are your future plans outside of the press release that you have coming up?
I may have not really a pop-up though, because it's just me. But I may have a pop-up. So when I say
Ironically,
pop-up,
right?
it's solo.
Yeah.
But I may possibly be doing a pop-up at King's Plaza. That's gonna be dope. They reached out to me, so that would be like really cool. But then I would have to get I'll probably do the colorways.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about doing it for my birthday, like July 30th. But remember, like the manufacturer, so I'm just making sure everything is perfect. But there's that. And then just product placement and working on my other colorways and designs and where I'm gonna place it. Then the next step would be stores, like I said, kind of getting it in stores. And then going from there. But Kleechi as a whole, I want to be a fashion house. Like I want to be able to design so many things, but I feel like you have to focus on one thing first, and it kind of got to pop because it took a lot of money. It took a lot of money, a lot of time.
I mean, yeah, 1,200
debt,
for one
like,
pair is crazy.
You know, but I look at it as investment because
of course.
it's gonna make me my money back, and I'm so in love with it that it's there. But if it was just for the money, like I would have been gave up because it's like 6 years now. 2017 on paper, 2019, and it's finally like, you know,
Getting to that
moving.
point.
So
Yeah, because like when I met you, I thought you just started like 20, like, you know, post-pandemic, like everybody, because, you know, a lot of businesses started up after the pandemic. But you said 2017. I'm like, damn, you've been
2017
around
on
for a minute.
paper, 2019 fall, I launched, and then I sold, but it was like, it wasn't my baby. It wasn't my custom pairs because they, like I said, they always told me they couldn't do it or the designs had to be over-regulated. So over 1,000 pairs, whatever. Where am I doing with 1,000 pairs right now? Like, so that's why it's so special. Yeah, for the 100 pairs, but also to build a momentum. But that would be the goal, to order 10,000 pairs, to have them in the stores in New York City, you know,
Just
LA,
New York City, we're going
Miami,
everywhere. Yeah,
Milan,
there we go. There we go.
Santorini.
Big picture.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that would be dope. Even to be in, like the West African market right now is like crazy too. Like
For real?
everybody's going over there. Yeah, South Africa. Everybody wants to be out there. So
You got to tune into that. Yeah, so let everybody know where they could, you know, cop some shades at, where they could find you at on social media, check you out for more.
this is gonna drop
info
before
and all that.
the thing.
Oh, we'll see.
Yes, I'm gonna talk-
I
I'm
gotta
gonna
see
talk
my
with their
schedule and all
Friday.
that.
So Kleechi.com, it's easy. KLEECHI. Instagram, official Kleechi. My personal Instagram, _FrameGod. New York City area. The only thing moving, June 16th. Bitcoin Center, 2307 Broadway. 8 p.m. is gonna be a movie.
Yeah, so you see what's cooking with Kleechi. And, you know, as always, show love. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you notify every time we drop a new video. And also, like I said previous episode, make sure you start subscribing to the other platforms as well, right? We don't just need you on YouTube. We need that Spotify, Apple Podcast. We need all the subscribers everywhere, right? So check us out on there. And just like that, we out. Kleechi, it was a pleasure.